Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Dee Positive. Um, Today, we are just talking about dealing with adversities that we go through in life and how we overcome them, and also just sharing a little bit of insights from things that we experience through life. I have a guest today who is actually, I believe, waiting right now. So let's get her on. And just one second. Let's see. There we go. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's so good to be here.
It's lovely to finally talk to you in person.
I know we've been going back and forth in DM.
Yeah. So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and say where you're from and just kind of a little bit about who you are?
Okay, I'm Kristen. I'm from the Boston, Massachusetts. I'm a mom and a wife during the day. At night, I'm a bartender and a comedian slash comedic storyteller. And I recently, during coronavirus, got on TV with Gary Vee and started my own IG Live. So I hosted my own show Monday through Friday night for about 3 months. And now I do it on Wednesday nights. And I just try to make people lighten up and laugh and inspire and motivate people to get them off their ass.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. I have actually seen a couple of your lives on Wednesday because I saw that you were doing that, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds really cool." And so I was like, "Oh, I want to check it out." And I think what you're doing is super awesome. Just trying to spread laughter and positivity and all that. That's great, especially right now in this time during like COVID. It's so many people are stuck inside and stuck in their heads, and like
Yes,
now more people are watching social content now more than ever because
exactly.
we're all stuck inside, and but we
Hmm.
still crave that connection. So
Yes,
I know you're doing bartending.
yes.
Is that so? I'm assuming you're open right now and still serving the public.
We are, but it's a very different world. That's one of the adversities I'm overcoming right now is my
Yeah,
job has completely changed.
yeah,
Um, I'm a huggy person, high fives, and it's no touching. It's get to the table, take the order, and get away. Social distancing. Everything's outside instead of inside. There's no standing behind the bar and waiting on customers at the bar anymore. So it's a very different environment right now. But it's still nice to see my customers. So I'm
yeah,
trying to adapt to the new normal right now. But it's definitely really tough. And it's funny that today's episode is adversity because that was actually my topic on Wednesday night. Because
oh
I
really,
think
that's awesome.
yeah, I just think adversity is something that is part of life. And we spend so much time trying to avoid it. And I really think that we have to kind of dive into it a little bit more. And I think that we would get so much more out of life, realizing that we can get something out of that adversity, because you learn something from it. You have a different skill set. It's almost like a piece of armor. And then it toughens you up. And then little by little, as you get the more adversities, you can kind of push through so much more. And you realize you're stronger.
Yeah. No, I love how you said that. I love how you said it's like armor and how you build that up because it's so true. So
Hmm.
many of us are like, "Oh, this is going to be hard. This is going to be difficult. I'm not going to be able to do it." And we push away. And what we don't see in hindsight is that actually weakens ourselves and pulls us back from potential and from helping us pursue the life that we ultimately want. And I
Yeah.
did it for years and years and years. I
Yes.
was like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna hide away from everything, and it got me nowhere. So it's like I'm a perfect example to show you. Like I wasted 5 years of doing absolutely nothing because I was too scared. But
And you said something else the other day, Dee. You said something like, "Why do I fear like making money, like success and money?" And I think that's something that I related to so much when you posted that because there's a thing about success that it almost levels off a whole nother level. Now you're dealing with a whole nother level of like insecurities or things that you have to deal with within yourself. So we
yeah,
will sometimes talk ourselves out of it, and I think that's such a great point because to me there's so many different types of adversity that we face as humans. Some people face it socially, and that's one of the things I learned when I did some research about adversity the other day. Because we always talk about adversity, but we
yeah,
don't really talk about the different levels of adversity. So some people suffer with adversity of social skills and social situations. Some people have adversity through financial difficulty. Some of them have it's emotional. So there's just so many different things that kind of are different levels of it
Yeah.
But I think if you start to learn to kind of say, okay, what is this here to try to teach me? And I've kind of come over different adversities in my life. I've had a lot of financial setbacks. So I've learned little things about that. I had a
Yeah.
fire and we lost everything we owned. So it kind of made me think differently about stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like everything that I went through was a part of the process. And
Yeah.
if you can embrace it, then you're stronger, and then you're like, okay, bring it on. What's next? I got this. I'll step right over it and keep moving.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I love that mindset. I can feel your positivity and your energy, and it's just incredible. Like, I talk to so many people, and like, I will look at their art, I will listen to their music, or things that they send me, and they are doubting themselves, and then I go
Mm-hmm.
and I look at it or I check it out, and I'm like, this is like amazing, or like, this person is 10 times the artist that I am, like,
Mm-hmm.
and they are just so afraid to put themselves out there because maybe they have been shut down by somebody and it hurt their
Mm-hmm.
feelings, or
Yep.
something hard happen to them in life, and it's stopping them from pushing through. And that's why I think it's important to like have these conversations, to
Yes.
talk to real, just regular people, like like us, and realize everybody goes through this shit. Like, we
Yeah.
all deal with adversities, we
Yeah.
all deal with really hard things in our life. But if you can find the strength and the perseverance to just be like, what, I'm going to handle this and I'm going to tackle it. It
Yep.
actually, like you said, it's like building up that armor, and then you're all that more equipped to handle the next thing that tries to knock you down.
Yes. Right. And the
So,
thing, I think in general, life is going to knock you down. And we
yeah,
just have to explain that to people from the beginning. It's not
yeah,
rainbows and sunshine. It's not easy. It's hard. It's beautiful. It's ugly. It's all of that. And that's what makes life like interesting. It wouldn't be
yeah,
interesting if you didn't have those bad times. I mean, like you have to deal with like, your kidney issues and all that dialysis. And I look at you and I'm like, and she's still pushing forward. She's still creating. She's coming on and now starting a show. You know what I mean? So like, what are you fucking complaining about? Like, you know what I mean? Like people have to just kind of say, I have a lot. Could I have more? Sure. But do I have a lot more than others? Yes.
yeah.
And celebrate that. And then it kind of makes you feel better.
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally agree. Now, another question I wanted to ask you, because of
Yeah.
what you said earlier with your job and how you are such like a socially interactive person. I know
Right.
I have a few friends who are bartenders as well, and they connect with their like, you have regular people who like come in and you connect with them, you talk with them, like you form relationships with these people and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Right.
So I'm curious as to how that is for you now, as going into business and working with them. Is it hard not being able to like interact with them in that way, or do you still try and keep up that connection in other ways?
It is because people come to my job just for a hug sometimes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because not everybody has somebody that wants to cheer you on. Not
Mm-hmm.
everybody has that person that's going to give you a hug. Like some
Right.
people live by themselves. Some people's
Yeah.
families are in another state. I live in Boston. So we have a lot of people from all over the world that move here for jobs. So some
Yeah.
people don't really have their people around them.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is a hard adjustment, but we're kind of giving elbows. Like, and so I try to
That's
find a way to
awesome.
use my humor
Yeah.
and try to like lighten people's moods because everyone's still so overwhelmed and they're overwhelmed emotionally.
Yeah.
And everyone's gets so much baggage from this coronavirus. Like I feel like the ripple effects
Mm-hmm.
are going to be so much longer than people don't even realize.
Yeah.
Just like the fears that it's created in people, the anxiety. A lot of people have lost their livelihoods or their businesses that they've worked really hard towards. So I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like there's going to be a lot of lessons coming out of it. And that's why even when things are going really difficult in the world, I try to come on and just spread my energy because people need it. I'm sorry if everything else is a fucking disaster, but I mean, some people just need something that's going to make them feel a little bit better for today because they're really struggling, and
Yeah.
that is one of my gifts, and that's what I just try to keep trying to do.
Yeah, no, I think that's amazing. That's super
Thank you.
awesome. Honestly, I've that's what I've tried to do, is I've just been trying to connect more with people, and like,
Yep.
I've realized that through messages that I've gotten, I've realized that so many people are alone and they
Yes.
don't have, like, especially people who have gone into quarantine. A lot of people have
Mm-hmm.
gone into quarantine without a significant other, without family, without anyone, and they're
Yeah.
just stuck in their house by themselves. Like,
Yes.
I mean, the humane societies have reported like a huge incline in
And
adopting animals
suicides.
lately,
Oh
which
yeah.
has
Oh
been
really?
wonderful. But I know it's because people are craving companionship. They're
Yes.
craving a connection with something, with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
that's what I want to strive to talk more to people, because I feel like so many people, especially those of us that are like creative, and like
Yeah.
you're creative with your humor, like with comedy, with talking. That's a creative thing that you
Right.
think about, and that you're like, how do I make this person laugh? Like
Right.
that's a creative thing inside of you. And I think those of us who have that creativity, it's kind of, I don't know if it's instinct or just reaction from us using that other side of our brain so much, but we tend to go more internal and shut down and
Mm-hmm.
not like really talk to anybody else about what's
Yeah.
going on with us. And
I
yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, that's such an important point because especially with like a lot of comedians, they're known for sometimes being like the happy clown on the outside but crying on the inside. And
Yes.
I'm kind of the opposite. I'm such an open book. Like I use it more like, okay, this is a tough topic and I don't know how everyone's going to lighten up about it. So if I try to make it a little bit humorous, I can open up the dialogue of the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about the opportunity to be a bartender because I have the opportunity to cheer that person on. Like if my job has an open mic on a Tuesday night and I have musicians come in, a lot of musicians doubt their own work. They doubt their song, like you were saying earlier. And I'll be like, listen, you're so much better than half the people that are on the radio. Like, keep pushing. And so
Yeah.
I try to use it as a way to push those people because you doubt yourself enough. So if I could be everybody's cheerleader and whisper in their ear so they believe it a little bit more, I'm down to do that because I want to just make everybody just keep pushing forward. And it's not easy because you'll doubt yourself or you'll look at something and say, oh, this isn't good enough for me to release. And then when you look at what the person didn't want to release, you're like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
share that gift with everybody, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I think it's because us as humans, we're always thinking like, oh, when I put something out, like it has to be perfect, or we think it has
Yes.
to be so perfectly amazing. But yet, in our mind, the way that we're analyzing it, it's never really gonna be perfect. Like us as humans, we are designed to see the flaws in ourselves, the flaws in our own things, and we're like, we're gonna pick apart everything that we do.
Yes.
So I mean, it's like when I talked to Gary and when he went and looked at my art, I definitely did not expect him to go look at my stuff at all. And as soon as he pulled up my Instagram, I was like, oh God. Like, I'm like, oh no, he's
But
gonna
it was
like
so good, Dee. It's like I was blown away because I was watching yours live and I was just like, this girl is really good. You know what I mean? And that's why I went right to the DMs to DM you. And I was like,
yeah.
girl, I'm here for you if you ever want to chat. You know what I mean?
No,
So
I so appreciate that. It's been amazing. Like the response from everybody has been like overwhelming in a good
yes,
way. Like, and
right,
it's been nothing but love. Like I haven't gotten any like, I've gotten a couple like weird messages, okay, but I haven't really
right.
gotten like any really, only maybe like a handful. The majority of the messages, and I've literally gotten thousands of messages from people, they are
Right.
full of so much love, and there's
Yeah.
all these creative people who are like, oh, I related to what you said so much, and like I doubt myself and I can't put myself out there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm like, well, this is clearly an issue that's going on with a bunch of people and not just me. So
Right.
I'm like,
And
if
then it
I'm
makes you
gonna
feel
push
not alone.
myself, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I will say that's one of the greatest things about social media that I've learned through this experience of being stuck in the house
uh-huh,
is that there's a lot of great people out there
mm-hmm.
that are looking to connect with like-minded people.
Yeah,
So in the negative times that we're dealing with, you can kind of navigate into whatever you want out of it by tapping into the people that have what you know, a same thing. So you
yeah,
can get anything you want out of life. If you want negativity, you can find it. But if you want positivity, you can find it too. So just
yep,
change what you put in your feed, and that kind of
yep.
helps a little bit.
Oh yeah, that it's totally right. Like I used to be one of those people where I was like, oh, that's just, people like me don't seem to exist. Like, because I had been friends with people who had kind of used me and just treated me in negative ways. And so I kind of
Yep.
like shut myself down from everyone. And I was
Right.
just like, whenever I would try to make a new friend or make a new connection, they would try and use me for something. And then I would just instantly be like, okay, obviously there's no good people. There's no chances for me to find a
Yep.
friend or a decent person. But then, like, once I talked to Gary, I was just connected to this like world of positive people, and
Yeah.
it's like they're all
I
so
know.
amazing. Like, you all are
It's a
so
crazy
amazing.
world. Yeah.
It's like the
No, it's
kindness
great.
just blows me away, and it's from all
Hmm.
over the world, and it's incredible. Like,
No, it's fascinating. It is a really amazing community. And I think that's one of the things that I've realized because when I'm bartending, you can have a nice person, then you can have a shitty person, then a nice person.
yeah,
And I'm always trying to think like, why is that person shitty? There's got to be something that they're in pain, that they went through, that makes them want to be so difficult. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever I can try to do to maybe change that person. If I have a couple minutes with them, maybe I can switch it on them a little bit, or maybe they'll put a
yeah,
little seed in their head. Because I mean, I
yeah,
think that hate, and bullying, it comes from a place of sadness or insecurity, and
yeah,
and that's the thing I was saying. Like, why do you have to say no to somebody? Isn't it so much easier
yeah,
to say yes? You know,
yeah,
so that's one of the things. So I think that's an interesting concept because I think that there's a lot of shitty people out there that will use you. And I think that's the thing that people have to understand. There's a lot of sharks in the world.
yeah,
And when you start navigating through those oceans, you start realizing, like, oh, I know who that person is. Gotta
yeah,
stay away from that person. And then you start picking the better people for your life. But you
yeah,
got to meet those people. So you kind of learned a lot by, having the wrong people in your life. And now you're kind of probably being better at choosing better people to have in your life.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's
That's okay. We'll find you in a second.
Oh, I've definitely understood that. I don't know what happened to my camera.
That's okay. It
Uh,
happens.
my
Technical
daughter's
difficulties
mad at
happen
me.
all the time.
Just 1 second.
I know it's not easy being a mom and like juggling all these things, Dee. So I feel you on that. I mean, I have technical difficulties all the time. I had a great guest the other night and we couldn't hear each other through the majority of the show. And I was like, it was such a bummer because he has such great information for people. So you just never know what's going to happen.
I know. I don't know why my camera is not working now. Oh dear.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Love
Um,
technical
oh,
errors.
there you
There we go.
are. You're back. There you are. At
Yeah.
least
So
there's our face.
anyway, yeah. No, I totally get that, and it's just amazing. Like, this community, it's there's so many positive people. I feel like, and yeah, a lot of these people, came to me from Gary. They
Yeah.
followed me from watching me on Gary, and
Right.
it's like I've had a couple people like, I don't really think they were necessarily trying to be negative in any way,
Yeah.
but they were kind of being like, because I've realized that this is kind of like a passion of mine, like talking with you, having
Yeah.
this show, connecting with people. And I do get messages from people like from a variety of like different things. Like they just recently got diagnosed with a health issue. They
Yep.
are going through a breakup. They're having
Right.
relationship issues, addiction problems, all kinds of things which I have gone through in my life or dealt
Right.
with in some way. And I
Right.
feel like I have the tools to be able to use that to help people. And, I've gotten a few messages from people who are like, oh, are you trying to like just do what Gary does? Or, things like that. And that's why on my live the other day, I was kind of talking and saying, what Gary mostly does is VaynerMedia. Like, he mostly
Yeah.
does marketing and he mostly is a businessman. That's mostly what he does. He just
Yeah.
does the Gary Vee stuff on the side because he's passionate about that. And he's passionate
Right.
about talking to people and helping people.
He wears
But
multiple hats, and everybody
yeah,
else
but
can
that's
too.
not like, like he hates being called like a motivational speaker and like all this
Right,
other
because
stuff.
that's not his career. It's just that he
Yeah.
does motivate a lot of people through his own life experiences. I think
Yeah.
that just comes down to people just kind of being like, if they think that you're, copying Gary, then that's on them. The
Yeah.
thing is, I feel like we all have life experiences, and the reason I like to talk to everyday people is
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like it's connectable to people because they're like, oh shit, I'm going through that today.
Yeah.
right? And that's one of the things that I do on a nightly basis at the bar. I connect with people and we share stories. And that's what when I was on Gary, he was like, go and do it now. You can't
Yeah.
do it in the bar, do it now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it doesn't matter what they get, because if you save one or two people or somebody connects to your story, then that's all that
Mhm.
matters. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
the person doesn't understand why you're doing it,
Yeah.
and that's okay,
Exactly.
Dee, because you
Exactly.
still have your creative side. This is just another piece to it. A lot of people have multiple things they do with their life.
Yeah.
You're a mom, you're creative, you have a show now. So whatever it is,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it. Sprinkle it all in. I have a lot of things going on, and a lot of interesting people have multiple balls they're juggling at the same time. And
Yeah.
it's okay because they're all part of the process.
Yeah. And that's what I want to help people, encourage people to think more that way too, because so many
Right,
people are like, oh, you have to do one thing and just pick
right,
something, just pick one thing. And
right.
it's like, no, you don't have to. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
2020. You could do 5 different things.
Anything.
You could do 10
Yes.
different things. Like, if you can
Yeah,
do it, then do it. Why not? And like, I keep
exactly.
reminding myself, like, there's 8 billion people in this world. There's so many people out there who are struggling right now, especially during
Mm-hmm.
COVID. There's so many
Yep.
people who need help right now. There's so many people who just need somebody to talk to, or maybe see things in a different perspective. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Gary is an amazing guy, but he's got a lot of stuff to do, and he can't get to everybody. I mean, and you have so much positivity. I have positivity, and like him and everyone else, who speaks on this, like Tim Ferriss and all these other
Yep.
people have said, the world needs more
More
positivity.
voices.
The
Yes, it needs more
news, the
positivity, good
media,
people, good
yeah,
energy.
like the
Yeah.
news and the media and all this stuff, like it focuses only on the negative and
Yep.
blows it up and makes, especially when people are at home. A lot of people are watching news right now. A lot of
All
people are
day
watching
long.
political stuff all day.
Shut it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Check
like,
in once
turn
a
it
day.
off, put
Yeah.
some positivity into your mind,
Yeah.
and let's go do something. Like, come on.
Exactly. I totally
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I think it's great because you know what? It's people helping people, and you know what? It's no one's business. Like, the people that are gonna like you are gonna like you. And one of my friends who I had on my show a couple of weeks ago, he said to me something that really stuck with me. He said, "You know what, Kristen? There's gonna be a third of the people that like you, a third of the people that are intrigued by you, and a third of the people that aren't gonna like you." And I was like, you know what? And when he said that, it made it so clear to me. And because I'm just me and I speak my truth, and either you like me or you don't, and that's okay because the people that like me can hang out with me, and the people that don't, they can keep scrolling.
Yeah.
And the thing is like I'm always going to share my truth. I'm always going to try to pull you along. You're not always going to agree with all of my thoughts and feelings. They're my thoughts and feelings, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect you to think the same way as me, and
Yeah.
and that's okay. So you just got to keep putting your energy out to the world because we need it. And if you help two people, that maybe someone's going through the similar things you, or maybe someone's got little kids, or maybe someone's trying to be creative and they're kind of stuck. And as you're growing and you've really grown into your own and getting more confident from the experience you had, other people are going to be inspired by that. And
Yeah.
so to me, that's a win-win. So how do you not share that? If they
Yeah.
don't understand it, just tell them to keep scrolling.
Yeah. No, exactly. I completely agree with that. That's I absolutely love your perspective on everything. Your positivity is amazing. I love how you talked about how you handled your adversities in work. I mean, being a bartender right now, especially in COVID, I mean, that's incredible. Like, I'm so interested to hear about how people are navigating through their jobs that they're still having. Like, my
Yes.
husband, he works in a mechanic shop. So, I
Yep.
mean, his day to day hasn't really changed that much because he doesn't really interact with the public. But whenever
Right.
he does have to talk to a customer, like, he has to put a mask on and he has to wash
Yep.
his hands and all this other
Yep.
stuff. So it's interesting to me to hear more on like a personal level, like people who work in
Yes.
restaurants or people who are
Yes.
bartending, like how you guys are like navigating this. Because I know, like, one of my friends was saying that she's having a really hard time because she used to get like a lot of, she gets a lot of her money off of tips and stuff. But she's like,
Yes.
it's hard now because like you can't just walk over to the table and like talk with them and then get the tip, or like, have this conversation. So she's like, it's a little bit different having to,
And and
still
here in
navigate
Boston,
that.
and here in Boston too, it has to be food in order to drink, and it's a 2 hour max.
Oh,
So
wow.
you got to get the people in and out because they're not allowed to just kind of hanging out for
Hang
hours,
out.
you know. So
Yeah.
it's just different, but you know, I have to
Yeah.
go there today in a few minutes, but
Yeah.
you know, but I'm just trying to keep a positive attitude, and I'm just trying, you know, we're just trying to do the best we can because I love the guys that I work for. I've been with them for 8 years.
Yeah.
It's a small neighborhood bar, and we've been there forever. So, you know, we're all just putting our best foot forward, trying to help them, you know, build a business back up after being closed for a few months, and that's all you can really do. And I think that whatever's going to be will be, and we can't worry about how it's going to be. We just got to do the best that we can with what situation we got for now,
Yeah.
and and just try to make them. You know, I just try to stand back when I talk to them. You can't
Yeah.
really get up on them like you used to, but you know, I try to like come back and back and forth and carry on the conversation a little at a time. That way, I'm away after like, you know, a couple minutes and then take away and then come back. You know, and just
Yeah.
kind of keep this conversation going. But it's challenging. I'm walking a lot more than I used to because everything's outside in Boston. So we
Yeah.
have patios. So
Oh,
it's get to go inside, come back outside, inside out. So that's another thing that's challenging. So it's a little bit different.
yeah. Yeah.
You
No,
adapt.
that's really interesting. No, I appreciate it, and I know you have to get going because I know you actually have to go to work soon. But I I appreciate having you on here and you talking about your adversities and sharing that. I would love to have you on again in
Yeah,
the future because
absolutely.
I love your vibe and interacting with you is amazing. So
Oh, thank you, T. I really appreciate it. I've been really loving your journey. Like I was sitting at home and I was watching your episode and I was like, boom. And I just like followed right away. And
thank
I
you.
just love the way you make your art is insane. Like I just love the content that you create. So
Oh,
creative.
thanks.
And a lot of times like the things that you say are like, yes, that's exactly like what I kind of feel and think. And you do a really great job of expressing it. So yeah, I would definitely chat anytime you want. And
Thank you.
I would just like to say in closing to everybody, like, you know, life's going to be full of challenges. And, you know, in life, we can let fear either propel us forward or hold us back. And I think it's so much better to let it propel you forward because, you know, you're going to be okay and take those hits, take those failures, try to figure out what it was trying to like build you up for or where the lesson was supposed to be in that. And then just keep going after whatever you want to do in life.
No, that's awesome. Dive into the fear. I love it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, thank you for
Well,
being on, Kristen. We
thank you.
appreciate
Thanks for
you
having me.
and sending you so much love. I hope you have a great day at work. So I look forward to having you on the show again. We'll message and we'll talk and we'll figure out a date that
Yeah.
works good for you. So,
Absolutely. Okay, keep doing it. All right.
all
Thanks,
right.
Dee.
Thank
Have a good
you.
day. All right. Bye,
Bye
everybody.
bye. All right, awesome. So that was wonderful. I loved having her on. I had wanted to have her on last week, but you know, schedules ended up mixing up and some things ended up happening. So, anyways, hi, Chrissy. I love you. Oh, I don't know. I just dropped my light, so that's cool. I don't know how to comment back in here. How do I comment? I don't know. Let me see. Yes, she was awesome. So, yes, talking more, just a little bit more about adversity, because that's kind of the topic for today. I was going to have another guest on, but she was busy today. So, we're going to try to shoot for next Friday. I am going to be doing this earlier to try and just be on with everyone's schedules better, and also it works better with my schedule because my kids tend to get a little wild. But yeah, so just talking a little bit more about adversities, especially right now during COVID, a lot of us are going through like difficult times. Like Kristen had said, a lot of people have lost their jobs, a lot of people have lost their businesses and their livelihoods, and people are really struggling. The suicide rates have dramatically gone up. The abuse rates have gone up, and you know, it's really sad to see all that happening. But the main point is like COVID in itself is an adversity. Like we are all trying to battle COVID, and it's something that we are all going through. All of us, all around the world, we're all trying to navigate it, figuring out how do we get back to our lives the best way we can. How do we connect with our friends? How do we stay connected with family? And like some of us have gone into quarantine completely alone, and we have nobody. So dealing with that and navigating through that is difficult. But I think, like she's saying, pushing yourself through the fear, pushing yourself through the adversity, that is what helps you to layer on that armor and to be able to better handle things that happen to you in the future. So, I think it's important that we all stay connected, especially those of us who are locked inside, stuck inside of our houses, and we don't really have anybody else to connect with, like right there on a face-to-face basis. That's why I think it's important to keep connected via social. Message your friends, send your mom a message, send your parents a message your family. Stay connected to everybody as much as you can. Also, while you're at home stuck in the house, there's lots of times for you to work on self-development, for you to work on things that you want to work on, for you to push yourself, like art, music, creativity. Like, there's so many things that we can do now, especially just on our phones, with apps, with technology, on our computer, with software, with so many things that we could do. Like, it's incredible. Like, you can really do anything. Like, Billie Eilish, she won tons of like awards, and all those songs that she won the awards on, she made all of those songs in her bedroom, in her house, with minimal equipment, and she's won tons of awards for them. Post Malone, the song that blew up, that made him famous, he made that sitting in his house. So there's lots of different things like you can do. You can make things in your house. Just try and find. I've realized a lot of people, that creative outlet that you find to do is what helps you to ultimately like feel better. And then and then you feel more confident. You start putting your work out there, and then you get a response. You feel more confident, and then you catch on to something, and then you go with it. Then before you know it, it's the happiness of that thing that fuels you, and you're not thinking about the negativity anymore. You're not thinking about, oh, COVID got me down. Oh, like, I'm so depressed about this and this and this and this and this, because you're focused on your project you're doing. You're focused on the thing you're making. You're focused on your creativity, and that can be a multitude of things. So yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I will try to add people on here. But let's see. Let's see. I think I have to send you a link, Christy. Let me see if I can send you a link. Let me go. Guest, invited guest, copy. Okay, I'm gonna go send you a link. If you want to get on the live stream, then you can. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, no, don't add me. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're so silly. Anyways, if anybody would like to be on the show, I'm going to be doing the show earlier in the morning, so I'm going to shoot to be doing it at like 9 Eastern time. It's going to be 6 my time, so it's going to be early as fuck. But I'm down to do it because I want to connect with you guys more, and everybody that I talk to lives like on the East Coast or on the other side of the world, and it's like nighttime or afternoon time or something like that. So let's see. She's okay. If you want to be on, I will add you, but if not, we will see. Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing?
How are you? I'm sitting outside.
Oh, nice. It looks
This is my house.
beautiful. I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Lovely.
Yeah. I wish I could be there and I would just let my kids go run out in your field.
Oh yeah. They would love it out here so much. Love it out
Get
here.
out all their crazy energy. Gosh, they're being so crazy right now.
I can hear them in the background.
Yeah. They are wild. Emma keeps trying to break my door down every like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But,
Typical kids.
oh yeah. So
I love your show. This is so awesome.
thank you. So you have to introduce yourself to everybody. This is
I'm
my
Christine
cousin,
Dean.
everyone, by the way.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm Danielle's cousin.
So
thanks for ad hoc adding me in here.
yeah,
Zero prepared.
Yeah, I know. I saw you on there, and I was like, "Well, you're in the video, so I'm just gonna make you get on here." So Christy is super awesome. If you guys don't know anything about Reiki or anything about that, she's amazing and has taught me some amazing things on how to help manage my anxiety so that I don't completely freak out and lose my mind when I'm having a panic attack. So she has worked with quite a few people, and I know that you've worked with a few people and have helped them like work through like pain management and dealing with anxiety and things like that, right?
Yeah. Energy medicine. There's tons of different tools out there. There's Reiki. There's EFT, which is emotional freedom technique. That's tapping. Meditation. Sound therapy, color therapy. There's tons of different energy medicine practices available out there, and but yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, I've heard them talk about the tapping. I heard the tapping a lot in schools. That's where I first heard it about was kids who were having like anxiety and stuff in schools. They were teaching them the tapping, and they were realizing that by teaching them that, it was helping them to focus more and to not be so distracted. And especially with kids who have like ADD and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing because you think about it. A lot of anxiety. When you get anxiety, you start getting that flight or fight feeling, right? That's the anxiety is you're gauging and getting ready to do that. And whenever you're going through and you're doing the tapping, you're interrupting those signals is what you're doing. So you're creating an interruption that so then your body can relax and not go into that fight or flight. And so it actually decreases cortisol levels and everything. It's awesome.
That's really cool. That's really neat. You need to get on lives and talk about this stuff more, crazy lady.
I do. I need to. This is awesome.
No, I talk to people a lot in my messages, especially who deal with like really bad anxiety and stuff. And a lot of them have tried like meditation, or they try like more natural calming things. But like before I talked to you, I really didn't know that much about Reiki. Like I've heard about the tapping, but I didn't know about that. And I didn't know about like color therapy and sound therapy and all that other stuff. And I don't think a lot of other people really know that much about it either. So, but I know it's something that more people are starting to talk about. It's starting to be a more popular subject as people get more into the more natural way of living,
Right. Well, the amazing thing about it is, we have this energy system that we can't see. We have our instruments don't actually like measure them to where we can see them the greatest. And so people don't realize it's there. But once you think about it and you come to the conclusion, yeah, I do have an energy system, all of a sudden a ton of tools in the world that have been there, some of them for thousands of years, are open to you. And it's just amazing whenever you start trying to treat your body from an energy perspective, how much help can happen like immediately. Like there's people that within 5 minutes of me helping them are like their pain is gone. That's just amazing. And people just don't know it. Now it doesn't always work that way, some of it, but if you can fix something, if your body's giving you pain, it's telling you there's something wrong. Now, sometimes that pain is in your energy system, not actually in your physical body. And so if you can heal that pain in your energy system, then that pain's gone. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible. I think you need to just have like a big, giant, like healing center where you have people come and work with them. Like you could have different rooms for like
see that field right there
and all that.
See that field right there?
Yeah,
that's where it's going to be. That's where my wellness center is going to be. Yep.
Awesome. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Eventually.
No, I seriously think that I think that you could do so much like great things, because there's so many people nowadays who are stepping away from like the pharmaceutical side of things, or realizing that the pharmaceuticals are like damaging their body, and a lot of people are turning to more natural ways of things. It's crazy. Like I realized I switched my diet to a more natural diet like 2 years ago. And ever since I've done that, like when I first did it, I had people being like, "Oh, you're crazy, because that's weird. Why would you do that? The food doesn't matter." And now 2 years later, everybody's like, "Oh, you should really watch what you eat. Like if you watch what you eat, it changes your whole body and everything." It's like, well, yeah. Like, but no, I think it's
we did the whole 30 diet, which takes out all processed stuff, dairy. You don't eat potatoes. Natural sweeteners you don't eat. You try to avoid the sugars and stuff, and it's all like meat, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, nuts, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was amazing. My body felt amazing. I my stomach didn't bother me. My skin cleared up within 2 weeks. I had dropped 13 pounds. You're not supposed to weigh yourself, so you're not supposed to know that, but I had dropped 13 pounds in 2 weeks. Yeah. And it was all just because I wasn't putting the stuff in my body that my body couldn't use, and and just stores for later purposes. So eating properly is goes a long ways towards feeling better, feeling good.
Yeah. Well, I was like, when you came and visited us, like a while, like
that must have been like at the start of your whole beginning, because I was there 2 years ago. So that was awesome.
And I was like, not in a healthy state. I was like, I look back at those pictures. I just saw some of those pictures the other day, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, geez, I had some weight on me, that's for sure. And so did Ben. He's all looking at the pictures, and he's like, oh my god. He was like, yeah, we were eating so bad, and he's like, we weren't like taking care of our bodies at all. And then like we switched, and like I know he lost like almost 30 pounds, and I lost like almost 40 pounds. So because I was like, oh, I weigh way more. I was weighing more than I was when I was pregnant. I was like, oh, this is not cool.
This is not good. This is not good.
Yeah. I was like, there's not even a baby here. What's happening?
This whole quarantine, the quarantine 15, that's a real thing. I gained like 13 pounds in like the first month when I was on quarantine and lockdown. And I was looking at the scale, and I was like, yeah, this ain't. But I was baking everything. I was like making stuff from homemade scratch, I discovered that, you can put strawberries in with peaches and make a strawberry peach cobbler instead.
Oh
and
my
it's amazing.
God. That's so good. That sounds really yummy. Now I'm jealous.
Totally try it. It's
a girl commented on here, Ashley Stiegel. She said, "Can I get a reading?" I think she was meaning that for you. So she might want to talk to you about that.
I don't do readings, but you can go to my Facebook page and message me. It's Reiki by Christine. Awesome. And message me, and I can chat with you.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, like I seriously think like a lot of people could use the help, and it's like I know what you can do, and I know you because I've known you my whole life, and I know your heart, and I know you are an amazing, caring person. You have one of the biggest hearts of anybody that I know. So
thank you.
I know
I love you so much.
I know you have amazing potential to help people, and I know you care. You truly care about what you're doing, and you're passionate about it. So.
Oh yeah, I want to help people realize that there's more to life, and that they have more control over their health than they think they do. And there's tools out there that can help you, and they don't take long to learn, but the difference it can make in your health is tremendous. You just have to be open to it.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't talk about it because a lot of people think, oh, I have a headache or I'm not feeling good. I'm just gonna pop some Tylenol and go about my day. And it's like, well,
Right.
if you actually realize that there are other ways that you can heal yourself in more natural ways, because if you take Tylenol every time you get a headache, like that's gonna build up in your system, and then when you get older, you're gonna have liver problems or liver failure or kidney problems or whatever it may be. And it's like that, all those medications, they have adverse side effects, like every single one of them. They all have
one of the biggest causes of headaches and migraines is called medical, what is it called? It's not overuse or something like that, but it's basically, it's the medication causing the headaches. And so people actually have to detox off of the medication and then their headaches go away. So it's, it's kind of sad, but headaches we still don't understand where they come from, but energy medicine is biofield therapies, and there's decades worth of studies being done on biofield therapies and stuff. So if you have any questions, just go to Google and research and, come up with your own idea and understanding if it's something that you might, want to try. There's Reiki practitioners all over the world. There's, tons of people out there. If you have a float center near you, saltwater tanks, I totally suggest you go float. Floating is amazing. I discovered it a couple years ago. And I was like, where's this been all my life? So check out the float centers near you. And
I
you'll be
never tried
amazed.
it until you recommended it. And I went and did it 2 times. And the first time I did it, I was like, okay, this is like really nice. And it was really relaxing. And it was like the most relaxed I had been. And being a mom with like 3 wild children, it was definitely what I needed. But then I went the second time, and you had told me how, like, be careful because you could fall asleep in there. And, and I was like, oh, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to fall asleep in a pool of water. There's no way that's going to happen to me. Well, I went the second time, and I got super relaxed, and I fell asleep. And I was like, and I was butt naked, and the lady comes in and she like had to wake me up, and I'm just oh my god, I'm like, oh, this is great. She's like, hey, just your time's up, so just let me know. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's so good.
I was not gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, no, float tanks are awesome. They're salt water. It's like 11, 12 inches of salt water, enough that your body just floats. You don't have to hold yourself up, and your body gets to relax in a way that you just cannot even imagine how good it feels to just relax in there. So,
I know. I swear, if I ever get enough money, I'm gonna have one of those, like, personally in my home. I'm just gonna go.
They sell float tents. When I was looking at them a couple years ago, for like about $3,000, you could get them, and you can get some that are a little bit cheaper than that, but they're not soundproof like the ones that you're gonna go to whenever you actually go to a facility. So you might not enjoy that quite as much if the kiddos were around screaming, but all of them are going to be in school for too much longer, so that might not be a bad thing to have around.
I know, right? As long as this whole COVID thing clears itself up.
Yep.
I guess we're doing online for the first like couple months, I guess, for right now. But who knows? We'll see.
I'm grateful that Bruce Allen graduated this last year, and that he's starting school next week, but he's a college guy now, so
nice. Is he doing
worry
it
about
online?
That. Some of his classes are online, some of them are in the labs and stuff. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. Though.
Yep.
Well,
so we're empty nesters. That's a real thing too, empty nesters.
Yeah. How's that feel?
I'm still processing.
Yeah.
I haven't been without a kid in the house for 25 years.
I know. It's probably, I would imagine, a mix of emotions. I see myself sitting crying and then being happy at random times.
Yeah. Well, I haven't like cried or anything like that, but it's still like I still am expecting him to like come home from work or come home from visiting or something, So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's got to be interesting. It's
yeah.
like, now you can just do like what Letha says and just, completely just breathe and relax and take in all of your time of mothering.
Yeah, I'm you know
But I know you got
interested
grandma
to see.
duties, so.
Oh yeah, grandma duties. Love it. Being grandma is the best thing in the entire world. I'm telling you
Yeah,
what.
that's awesome.
Being grandma is the best ever. So
Yeah, I can't wait until we live closer to you guys, and then all the kids can just go run around and play with each other. It'll be nice. So.
yep. Because they're all starting to get older. It would be nice if they could have the cousin relationships like we all had because we live so close together and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully within the next year or two, we'll be moving out somewhere abouts that way. I don't know. We have to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome here. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I love your house and your yard and all your property. I'm so jealous because I'm my kids.
Oh, whenever you come out here, you guys are just gonna
out.
love it. Go out in the woods, take a little hike down to the creek, go catch some crawdads or something.
Yeah, I've
the
actually
kids
never
will love
done
it.
that.
We have tons of flat rocks because of the kind of property that we have, and so we go down to the creek and we have rock skipping contests. So.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yep. Hubs always wins. So.
That's funny.
He's like could be a professional rock skipper or something. I don't know.
Oh, Kelly commented. Hi, Kelly. We love you. Sending you love.
Hi, Kelly.
Kelly is another one of my cousins, and she's super amazing. She's one of the biggest hearts of anybody. So.
Yes, Kelly is amazing.
But no, it was lovely having you on here, and I'm gonna keep pushing you to do your your live show and to do something, because I know that there's so many people, especially I could even send people your way, because there's people who talk to me about stuff, and there's just certain things that I'm not at that age, or there's certain things that I don't understand about business, or things like that, which I understand you're a bit more business minded than I am, and especially with your natural healing and things like that. There's lots of women.
In my day job, I'm an accountant.
Yes, she's very smart. She's got a very smart mind. There's so many women and even men who message me who are trying to heal themselves, or trying to find more natural or alternative ways of doing things. And so there's a couple people actually that message me, so I'll probably message you later. There's one woman in particular that comes to mind, but I'll probably message you and talk to her and see if she would like to talk with you about your Reiki and all that stuff that you do. So I'll try and do that more.
That'd be awesome.
More often. Shoot people your way.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you for being on. I know
It's been nice being on here.
And just blew you on here.
Yeah, you caught me totally by surprise. I was like, she's not. Okay.
No, you're amazing.
Thank you. It's been awesome.
You're wonderful, and I love you, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day.
I am. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
It's lovely to have her on. She's my cousin. She is incredible. She does Reiki and energy healing. If any of you are seeking that or needing anything like that, please go check out her Facebook. It is Reiki by Christy, Reiki. I believe I spelled that right. Anyways, so I gotta go make my kiddos some lunch now. They are being wild hooligans like children are. Anyways, sending you guys all so much love. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. As always, remember, positivity is the key. If you look for positivity, you can find it. Remember what Kristen said, you will look for what you look for, you will find. So I understand a lot of us are dealing with negativity and negative situations in our life. I am here for you. I know there are lots of other people who are there for you. If you don't happen to want to talk to me or like what I'm saying, that's completely fine. But I want you to know that I'm here for you. If you ever need to talk, I am working more on going into that side of my business. So I'm calling it the heart center of my business. And at the heart center is where we'll be helping people, working with people, working on self-development, working on battling anxiety, social anxiety, depression, relationship issues, sexual things, like issues and things that you might be dealing with, anything that you feel uncomfortable with wanting to talk to a friend or a family member or anybody else about. I'm here for you. I have a contract that I have written up, which is a confidentiality agreement where everything just stays between us and all of that fun stuff. So anyways, just wanted to put that in there. As always, if you want to be on the show, just hit me up, DM me wherever, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find me anywhere. And shoot me a message. We'll connect. I'll get you on the show Tuesdays and Fridays. That's when the show is happening. So, yeah. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I will talk to you later. As always, remember, stay positive.